And it just so happened there was an open house out here, and there happens to be a zillion houses available out here because this state is bankrupt and we live in a city without a water supply, and they still want $1 million for a house that is about the size of a decent one-bedroom apartment. So hence there's a lot of open houses. So I actually went into the open house and looked at it and was thinking the entire time that if I had gotten out of the car and thrown the first punch, even if I won the fight, whatever down payment I would have had to actually get a fucking house, which is something I'd like to do at some point in my life, that would have been out the fucking window. And as much as it calmed me down, today, it still hasn't made me feel any better. And there should be like some sort of gentleman's agreement of I'm not going to sue you and my friends aren't going to jump in. Or maybe even go down to the gym. You just put the gloves on so you can just get it out of you. Because I got to admit, it's still fucking in me. And I've been... This is how much of a cunt it's made me, and I'm trying to get rid of this little ball of hate that is in me. I looked at the one house, right, and I felt better, and I'm like, I still need to look at another house because I'm still in a bad mood, and I was driving up the street. As I'm driving up the street, this white lady is like waving her hand, telling me to stop. She's got no uniform on or nothing. So I kind of, I'm deliberately driving past her a little bit before I slow down because I'm a fucking control freak and I don't like people telling me what to do. So she comes up to my window and I go, "What?" And she's like, "A tree fell in the road around the corner. I just didn't want you to hit it." And I was just like, "Oh my God, I'm the biggest asshole ever." I really am. You know what? If I'm really going to be honest with myself, the whole fucking reason I had that fight with that guy is because I'm in a grumpy mood because the last 7 out of the last 8 weeks I've been on the road. All right? There. All right? I admit my fucking part of it. Oh, dude, you could have seen where that guy was just standing there. That fucking shark fin of a nose is his coming out from those awful sunglasses. That's going to haunt me for another couple of days. But thank God I am a little bit older. I actually know how my brain... I'll tell you, that's what being older is knowing how your brain works. Okay? Because the moment is gone. So now all I'm going to do is just walk around hating this fucking guy. So what I have to do is every time I think it, I just fucking think of something else. And I've been able to do it in my apartment, but when I get in my car, it's like a Vietnam fucking flashback. So I'm just going to give myself a week to get over it. And that's it. All right? So there's a story for you. That took a nice 12 minutes. My fucking voice is killing me. I actually bought a book on how to fucking use your voice properly on stage. I should really read it. I do drink that throat coat fucking tea with honey now. That's how old I am. What I really should be doing is giving my voice a rest and shutting the fuck up rather than yelling about some dude who doesn't even matter in my fucking life. All right. Let's get on with the podcast. So this is the Monday Morning Podcast, everybody. If you're new to this, you're probably in some sort of, I don't know what mindset you would be in. Those fucking ceiling fans drying out my throat. That's what's going on. Is there something really intimidating about a ceiling fan? Do you ever not think that it's just going to come flying off the fucking ceiling and decapitate you? It's unreal how it just stays there. Are pumpkins seasonal? I didn't even get back to that. You know what happened last year is I carved up a couple of them, but I carved them up too early, and they started to dry out. And the thing that I had carved in there, this scary looking face, and I carved like a whole silhouette in the background. You know what I mean? It's like I carved out like a big circle 3/4 the way, and then on the bottom I carved the head into the bottom part of the circle. So then the candle was behind it. Fucking lit this thing up and looked, it was awesome. But the weight of the face, considering it wasn't connected to any other part of the pumpkin, it started to fall into the hole as it dehydrated. And it really wasn't scary come Halloween. It was just kind of sad. It was like a defeated demon. Like he was looking up in the air like, God, what do I have to do to scare people? Yeah. So, anyways, I just came back from the DC Improv, everybody, and I want to thank everybody in Washington, DC, and the surrounding area of Baltimore, Richmond, Virginia, Georgetown, wherever the hell you came from, West Virginia. I just want to thank all you guys for coming out. That was the greatest turnout I have ever had to any stand-up weekend I've ever had. I actually had to add a show, people. I did a second show on a Thursday night, and it's sold out. I did 6 sold-out shows in 3 days, and at the time of my life, ate at this restaurant, Posh. Got hooked up there by Chef Chris. This fucking dude brought us out all this food. Want to thank him. Oh, it was a great time. Dude, you know what else I did? We got a football. It's a long fucking story. This is the Peter Pan lifestyle I'm living in, which really gives me no excuse to get mad at some guy in a green 4-door sedan in the parking lot of a goddamn diner, right? I played football on a Friday afternoon around 2 in the afternoon like I was still in like the 5th grade. You know? Actually, 5th grade would be more around 4th, and I'd be blowing off my homework or whatever, you know? And ended up spraining my finger because Paul Verzi, comedian who opened up for me, we were so fucking hilarious. Like typical, you know, he's still a younger guy, but you know, I'm 41, so I'm stretching and doing all this shit. And we're sitting there lying to ourselves. Dude, we could still play. That was a great pass. Dude, you hit me right in stride. You hit me right in stride. He's getting all excited that he's hitting a 41-year-old in stride, like the defensive back couldn't catch up. And fucking run the thing back for 6 the other way. But, nah, man, I was psyched. I was really impressed with how fast I can still run. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's because I've kept myself in shape and I stretch on a regular basis. For all you guys out there, as you're getting older, you ever look at older guys and you just look at them and you get to an age at some point where you can't fucking run anymore. And it blows your mind when you're young, like, why can't you run anymore? You just send that brain signal to your legs to run. And the problem is because it hurts. I mean, look, this part of it is, yeah, you walked on your legs, your feet, you use your body, wear and tear of 40 years. But I swear to God, it seems like 80% of it is not stretching. If you don't stretch, you get atrophy and your muscles shrivel up. And that's when you literally, somebody throws you a ball and it's a little out of your reach and you go to reach for it and all of a sudden your kidneys up by where your fucking shoulder blade is. Kidney attached to tendons? I don't fucking know. You know what I'm trying to say. From muscles and tendons to organs. I'm telling you, I have this power yoga tape that I've been doing forever, and forever my friends have been teasing me. Dude, that's gay. What are you doing yoga for? What are you trying to suck your own dick? Right? All those fucks continue to eat, and they didn't stretch. And I was never fast. I could always catch. I always had great hand-eye coordination. I could fucking catch anything. I don't give a shit what it is. My thing is that there's just going to be somebody in front of me because I was never fast. So this is hilarious. I was never fast, okay? But I kept myself in shape. And about 7 or 8 years ago, when I was in my early 30s, I was playing pickup football. And we've been playing for about 20 minutes. And for the first time in my life, somebody on the opposing team actually said, hey, watch out for Burr, he's fast. And I almost bursted out laughing because I was thinking of what a statement that was to the horrific shape that they were in. Because I was slow when I should have been fast. I ran like a 30-year-old when I was 17. So when I'm 33, I gotta be running like I'm 45. You know? So anyways, we had a great time, and I gotta tell you, you know what I realized when I was throwing that football around? And this is one of the sad things about being an adult and getting responsibility and not being able to have a fight because you could get sued, is there's a lot of other fun things that you just stop doing, like throwing a football. Do you know how much I love football? How much I loved it when I was a kid? And do you know how long it's been since I threw a football? I can't remember I think the last time I threw a football was that day I was talking about where they said, get Burr, he's fast, which was like 33. Like I honestly, in the last 8 years, cannot remember ever throwing a football. Do you know how fucking tragic that is? We were out there running post patterns and fucking, you know, cutting across the field. I was having the time of my life until I sprained my finger, but even then it was all right. You see, it looks like one of Elton John's fingers. You ever see an Elton John concert and he plays with those little fat little sausage fingers he has? He always talks about how he doesn't have piano playing fingers because he can't really reach that far, but he's still the shit because he's so gifted. That's what I have. I have one Elton John index finger. Or Mario Batali. Anybody watch the Food Network? And you watch him after he does the well method, making the pasta, which is something I really want to fucking try. I always want to try to make my own homemade pasta. I really got into cooking so much. I used to watch that show, Molto Mario, every day because he seemed like the real deal. You know, not only did he understand the dish, he had been to the country where he'd been to Italy. Hung around with Italians and they taught him how to fucking make this stuff after they gave him a ton of shit for not knowing what he was doing. He can explain the part of Italy that it came from. It's just a tremendous show. And I like that he does it in his own kitchen. He just has like a couple of friends over, you know? And I don't know, I just looked at it in like a comedy kind of way, where he just seemed like a comedian who's really a comedian. Like they don't need props, they don't need a catchphrase. He's just standing there doing his shit, right? As opposed to other shows where you got, you know, I was gonna say Emilio Estevez. What the fuck's that guy's? Emeril Lagasse. You know, just how much I got into the Food Network. I could actually tell how much happier Emeril Lagasse was when he was doing Essence of Emeril as opposed to being in front of the crowd. You know? Who doesn't like working in front of a live audience? But you could see the sadness in his face when the crowd just sits there and then he has to do all that extra shit. All of a sudden you gotta turn into like, you know, I've got some butter! And everybody's like, hey! Start screaming. Where Essence of Emeril, you can just sit down and cook the dish and not have to sit there throwing flour over his shoulder and sugar into the eyes of his drummer. He's got a fucking drummer on a goddamn cooking show. So anyways, that's what I'm saying. Like, look, if you love football, you haven't played in a while, stretch out and throw the ball around. I'm telling you. Gotta do it. Do it before your fucking team plays on Sunday. That's one of those silent competitions I have with other guys. You know, you go into a sports bar and you just look at the horror that is a sports bar. The complete out of shape fat fucks. The bloated alcohol and wings face that you see every time you turn around, you know? I always go, every time I go to a sports bar, I always try to work out before I go there, you know? Burn off whatever the fuck I'm gonna eat in there, because I don't want to look like those people that are in there. So that's what I'm saying, there's a fun way. If you hate the fucking gym, go get a goddamn football. Dude, I felt like I was in the 5th grade. Like when I was done, I was looking for my book bag, you know? It was ridiculous. Of course, 2 hours later, I did not feel like a 5th grader. I felt like I was 48, but it was fun nonetheless. All right, so let's get on with the podcast. Questions and whatnot. Hey, here's a great thing. If anybody else has like had a confrontation like what I had, and for whatever reason you didn't have the fight. And you know what was funny? When I was saying I was so mad, and I was telling Nia I have to go back there when I was dropping her off. She goes, just go back and slash his tires. Which really took me back to the whole revenge thing of how damaging somebody's car. I literally said that to her. I go, that's the bitch move. I could slash Chuck Norris's tires if he wasn't standing there and ruin his day. No, go back and fight the guy. Or just fucking, or don't. Go back and rip his antenna off like a fucking pussy. Fight or don't fight. Or take a walk around the lake and calm yourself down and admit to yourself that you're 41 years old and you probably had a fucking 50-50 chance of losing the thing to begin with. Oh, I would have been on the ground with that gravel embedded in the side of my face. I was just taking a boat shoe to the head. He didn't have no boat shoes. He wasn't like that. All right. Okay, here we go. Here's the podcast. All right, last week I was telling you guys about how I discovered the magic word when complaining to corporations, that the word is unacceptable. All right? And just in case you guys feel that I don't know what I'm talking about, which is exactly what you should feel, because I am a moron, I got this great email from somebody. Where the fuck is it? God damn it, I thought I had it. You know what? I am the worst. Why do you guys listen to this fucking podcast? No, I know. I have it right fucking here in front of me. All right, it's back on track. I actually got an email from somebody who answers the phones for one of those big corporations. All right. And if you want to learn how to do it, I explained it in last week's podcast. At least my story of how I went about getting my money back. So this guy sends me this really nice letter. He says, just want to say your podcasts are fucking hilarious. Keep them coming. You should do a show in Omaha sometime. That's a rough one, dude. Omaha's a rough one. I will at some point. All right, I just have to get psyched up for the 28 planes I'm gonna have to take to get there. That's one of those like fucking states you have to fly past it to fly into a hub city, you know, to finally get there. You know, I'm flying to Omaha via fucking Tampa. What? All right, here we go. Bill, also I wanted to say, when dealing with corporations, using the unacceptable line does work. I am a support agent for a well-known financial company. If someone is continually a pain in the ass about something and are persistent about it, eventually they will get their way. You guys hear that? I know it's morning for some of you. You're stirring your coffee. Did you hear that? If someone is continually a pain in the ass about something and are persistent about it, eventually they will get their way. Usually, as a customer service representative, we are encouraged to try and steer the conversation away from things like credits and try to offer other suggestions. And that's the part where you get mad because you're not getting what you want. But that's where you have to keep you cool, all right? So anyways, he says, basically, we try to bullshit them a little and try and put them at ease. Yeah, lie to them, okay? But if a customer is still not happy, we will give them credit or whatever you want, as long as it's reasonable. That's fair, just to get you off the phone. However, if you start using profanity while on the phone call, chances are we will try and find ways not to help you or disconnect the call altogether. Regardless of rules and procedures, representatives do have the ability to make judgment calls. Basically, if you call the customer service rep a cunt, I will guarantee you they will not help you. Stick to using the unacceptable line. Don't give up, and you eventually will get what you want. See that, people? There you go. Now you have the information you need from a professional rather than some moron comedian who almost got in a fight outside of a pancake house. I actually won another one this week. All right, I ordered the NHL package, the center ice package, and I asked him, hey, so I says to the guy, I just sounded like I was doing fucking vaudeville. So I asked the guy, I says, hey, buddy, what's with the chicken soup?
You can feel.
I asked the lady when I ordered it, does it come with the NHL channel? And she says, hold on, let me check. And she says, why, yes it does. And I said, you know what? You got yourself a deal. I will take the center ice package with the NHL channel. So she says, okay. All right, so they boot the fucking thing up. And the next day, lo and behold, I don't have the NHL channel. So I call up, and what do they say to me? They say, hey, hello, sir, what can I do for you? And I tell them my deal. And I said, oh, we actually, in her notes she left, she said that you hung up before the call was over. And I was like, no, I didn't. I immediately got pissed, too. I kind of fucked this phone call up a little bit in the beginning. I went the cunt route, but I didn't say it. But then I got it back on the back. I was like, no, I didn't. And the guy's like, oh, according to her notes, you did. And I was like, well, according to my memory, I was on the phone call and you weren't, okay? So now what? I'm like, so now what? She gets to just say something happened? She writes it down to cover her ass, you know? And, you know, so that's when I kind of got mad, but then I was able to bring it back and just say, look, the conversation ended with her going, thank you very much. Is there anything else I can help you with? What do you think? I was halfway through ordering it? And she was going, hang on a second, sir, hang on. I was like, too late, goodbye. I didn't do that, all right? And the guy's like, well, I have to charge you $5 a month for this channel. This is like the zero tolerance I have. I am arguing $5 a month, which is going to be $30 over the course of the 6-month season. And I'm like, no, I'm not paying that, okay? And the guy goes, well, I can't give it to you. I don't know what to do. I go, all right, well then cancel the center ice package. And the guy goes, I can't do that. I go, what do you mean you can't do that? And he goes, you can't cancel it once you order it. I go, so you mean to tell me that I ordered something, it's in what you told me it isn't, and now I can't cancel it, and you can't rectify the situation? Is that any way to buy a business, run a business? And And the guy's like, oh, I go, that's unacceptable. I want to talk to somebody else. So I get this next guy on the phone. At this point, I finally calmed down, and I was able to use that line. Sir, I understand you know, you don't make the rules. I know this wasn't your call. This was the scenario. Okay? Well, blah, 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 blah. If you can't give me the channel for free, like I told it was, you know, that I can't get the package, I would like you to cancel Center Rice. The guy goes, well, I can't do either one of those, but this is what I can do. Your DVR costs you $10 a month. How about I give you 3 free months of DVR? That'll be $30 discount, and the whole thing will be a wash. And I was like, you know what? You got yourself a deal. Bam. 2-0. Turning this franchise around. A perennial losing franchise. And just like the fucking Saints, I am now a factor. I am now a fucking factor. So, in the last 2 weeks, I got $25 back, and I got $30 back. I am plus 55. I'm like a degent, the mush in a Bronx Tale, and I'm finally winning. I'm plus, I say myself $55. Do you know how many tube socks you can buy with $55? It's a lot of fucking socks. How great do you feel when you got a blue pair of socks, you know? I never whistle. The only time I ever whistle, if you ever see me whistle, you know I got a brand new pair of fucking dress socks and tube socks on. Your feet, they tingle. Isn't that right, Cleo? Huh? They tingle. I was hoping she was gonna make the move. Let's see if I can get a moan this week. You guys have heard. Anyways, all right, so let's get on with the fucking questions here, because I got to start wrapping this up. I'm almost done here. See, you know what? I feel great right now. I feel great. I told that fucking story about the guy at the diner. I got to laugh at it. I got to laugh at myself. I got to be honest that chances are I probably would have lost the fucking fight. You know, that's why stand-up is a great thing. It's a great fucking thing.
An enemy has been slain.
You get to make a complete ass out of yourself, feel like a douche, and then laugh about it, and then you feel better. All right, somebody needs advice. Hey Bill, I got a couple questions and comments and stories, but I went out with this girl last year. Before I went to the prom with her, it wasn't really a date, but it was just a chance to go out with her and get to know her before we went to prom. We ended up having a great time that evening and at the prom. I proceeded to Facebook her about a week later and asked her if she wanted to go out again. She basically said she would like to go out again, but not in a romantic way. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so now you took that emotional kick in the chest. After hearing this, I backed off and didn't pursue her for a month or so. And this time, she got a boyfriend. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Which honestly pissed me the fuck off, as well it should have. I had to talk to her. I had talked to her for about a week before she went out with this guy. And when they finally were officially dating, I told her I didn't want to cause trouble and that I didn't want to bother her. She replied by saying that she said she didn't want to go out again with me is because she was confused about how I felt. And seen when we first went out before prom that I wasn't interested. Isn't that funny after she said let's just go out and be friends? Right? Didn't she? Did I already forget the first part of this? We saw each other maybe 2 or 3 times again for birthdays, graduation parties until I went off to college and she went back to high school. I am now a freshman and have made no friends on account of my horrific people skills. I feel like I should go after college girls, but I can't stop thinking about the high school girl and feel like she's light years ahead of these big-titted, shallow college girls. I also feel like she's the first girl that I ever felt comfortable hanging out with, although she seems like she would be a hard girl to woo, as she is really intelligent, and I am still unsure if she likes me at all. I was wondering what you think, and if you have any tips on how to really impress